Hey, so I'm just dropping this science on y'all tonight. This video is fire. This video is super fire. So I'm gonna drop this down on y'all so y'all can understand what's going on with this information that I'm finna drop for y'all. So let's get right into it. And I'm gonna show you why you need ghosts in the system, why ghosts in the system need to be a part of your life, and what's going on. Let me show you how to get this done. So let's first understand how did we get here with this information, and we're going to talk about it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a franchise. And let's go back here. I'm going to tell y'all what is a franchise. A franchise is an authorization granted by a government or a company to an individual or a group, enabling them to carry out specific commercial activities. You understand? That's a franchise. But let's get more involved in a franchise. When you create a franchise, you don't just sell them or set up or sell them intellectual property. You sell them the know-how, the ingenuity, the training, the whole kit and caboodle on how to operate a particular franchise. For example, McDonald's. That's a burger franchise. And if you look at how everything is done, all the franchises mimic each other from one franchise to another. So when you understanding this, when you create a franchise, you create a corporate war status. In accordance to the corporate war status, determines the rights that you have in accordance to the franchise. So you got to understand what's going on with this. So with this information, what I did is I already seen what they had, and I created a blueprint exactly what they already done. Ain't no point in bending the wheel over. Just understand what the franchise is. So let's look at what a franchise is. Franchising is based on a marketing concept that can be adopted by an organization and strategies for business expansion. Where completed, a franchisor licenses the know-how, procedures, intellectual property, use of the business model, brand, and rights to sell the branded products and services to a franchisee. In return, the franchisee pays certain fees and agrees to comply with certain obligations typically set out in the franchise agreement. So when you look at this, is you selling not just the license, but I mean, you're not just selling the intellectual property, you're selling the know-how and procedures. So it goes from the procedures to the training to the infrastructure to operations to management, everything. You're giving them the whole kit and caboodle on a model that's already been proven to work. Okay, let me break this down for y'all. So we're gonna get into this information, and I'm gonna show you the importance of understanding what ghost in the system is. The ghost in the system is already a blueprinted model. So let me break down what the bankers are. It's a franchise. It's a banking franchise. Just like McDonald's, the only thing they selling is money. They're selling a financial system in which the United States have the right to regulate its policies and its prices through a contract agreement, through a franchise agreement. So let's go to the Constitution, and let's look at the Constitution, and let's compare and get this information. So under Article 1, Section 8, and this is how it reads: the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, impose, and excises to pay the debts provided for common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties imposed and exercised shall be uniform throughout the United States. United States to borrow money on the credit of the United States, to regulate commerce with foreign nations, and along the several states and with the Indians. Listen to this. To regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with Indian tribes. And establish uniform rules of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcy throughout the United States. To coin money, regulate the value thereof and of foreign coin and fix the standards of weights and measures. So when you're looking at this, I told you what is a foreign country. I told you that's a foreign corporation. So when you understand this information in its entirety, you can be able to see what's going on. So they have the right to coin money, regulate the value thereof and of foreign coins, and fix the standards of weights and measures. So you got to understand how this stuff works and how it's integrated. This is what ghosts in the system do. If you understand how to set this up and set up your trust, to set up your franchise, and understand how this works, you can then understand how to get your remedy all the time in a significant manner. And this way, you won't have to go through all this other stuff. A lot of us want to talk about law, but this is the other way. This is one of the best ways I've seen for us to get a remedy. Since it's already being done, I don't see why we're trying to fix the wheel. I understand there's other things that we can do, but other rights we can have, but I'm showing you how they're going about utilizing and controlling the market through intellectual property. So let's move on. Let's find out what intellectual property is. Put it here. Okay, intellectual property. Now over here, because I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to show you something. In general, intellectual property is any product of human intellect that the law protects from unauthorized use by others. Read this real good. The ownership of intellectual property inherently creates a monopoly in the protected property. Intellectual property is traditionally comprised of four categories: patent, copyright, trademark, and trade secrets. So what we're doing here, this is what I say, you know, King Bay has been boots on the ground. So if you watch my videos, I break it down. I'm not going to tell you all this other, oh, you got to know, you got to get the substance, you got to know how to get the remedy. This is some stuff. No, we ain't playing that game. When you come over here, I'm going to introduce you to the information and I'm going to show you how you get your remedy in this particular area. I'm not going to leave you stranded on death row trying to get you to figure out what's going on. I'm going to show you in this area how you get your remedy so that you can go about living your life abundantly and that you don't have to be stressed and have a whole lot of complexity in your life. So a lot of us won't have to go out and do criminal activities once you're amongst this group. This is a unique set of information that I'm breaking down. So let's look at what the common law say. Common law did not recognize intellectual property rights. Justice Brandeis communicated this belief in his dissent to International News Service versus Associated Press. The general rule of law is that the noblest of human production, knowledge, truths, and concepts and ideas become after voluntary communicating to others as free as the air to common use. You understand? So you got to understand how to go about. And we got the whole process on how to go about doing this. And we do this in a particular manner that's kind of unique. And then we make you go about doing it in a particular way to continue to safeguard your rights. Because this stuff can get real expensive. And eventually you'll come around and do it the other way. But you can do it in a way where you can get your remedy and still get your relief. It says the products of human intellect that comprise the subject matter of intellectual property are typically characterized as non-revivorous product of public goods. Essentially, this means that the same products may be used simultaneously by more than one person without diminishing the availability of that product for the use by others. The law of intellectual property can be seen as an analogous to the law of tangible property in that both consist of bundles of rights conferred upon the property's owner. Okay? However, the law of intellectual property is separate and distinct from the law of tangible property, where the right of exclusive possession is at the core of the bundle of rights protecting real and personal property, land, and chattels. The same cannot be said of intellectual property. The law of intellectual property is commonly understood as provided as an incentive to authors, if you're the author, you're the creditor, and inventors to produce works for benefit of the public by regulating the public use of such works in order to ensure that the author and inventors are compensated for their efforts. You get what I'm saying? So when you get with us, we breaking this down to another level. And I'm gonna show you, you don't have to do all those tax forms. You ain't gotta fill out all them documents. You ain't gotta do all of this stuff. Once you watch my videos, I tell you how to lay claims. I break some stuff down and show you where I get the information from. I'm very informative. I apologize. And I show you how to derive to this conclusion. You don't have to go through all of that. Once you understand the power of contract and you understand how to use this information. It says Congress derives its power to regulate patent and copyrights from the intellectual property clause of the Constitution. See U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. Congress has the power to regulate trademarks. Is constitutionally grounded in the Commerce Clause. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is responsible for issuing and monitoring federal registered patents and trademarks. Although patents are exclusively governed by federal law, trademarks also can be regulated by state law. Copyrights are exclusively regulated by federal law and must be registered with the U.S. Copyright Office to be enforceable. Trade secrets are primarily regulated at the state level and traditionally subject to laws of unfair competition. So you got to understand what's going on with this information, and this is what I bring to the table. I'm boots on the ground, so I know how. I've been doing this long enough, and I understand how to get certain remedies and understand how to protect your rights through contractual safeguards, to asset protection, okay, to understanding estate planning, which all of this falls under, and to tax avoidance. Once you understand the degrees of this information, as we continue, you're going to see where I got this information from, and I'm going to break it down for you. So let's go to the Constitution under this clause once again. So let's look at this. Now let's go down to, we looked at this Commerce Clause. I showed you where they have the right to regulate commerce and borrow money of credit. So let's go down to the Fifth Amendment. Let me show you where you get your sovereignty. Let me show you how you get your protections when you understand how to do this information in its particulars. And I can tell you about a letter of derogatory. It's about getting consent to use particular private property. And if you understand what you're doing, you will know how to protect yourself and know how to stop people from utilizing such private property in a way that where you have to be compensated and you ain't got to worry about doing all of that because they're going to do it for you. So Congress, it says, no, this ain't it. Fifth, this. We're going to drop all the way down. So I'm going to skip a lot of that. It says, nor be deprived of life. It says, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So the two things I want you to understand, they can't deny you of none of that without your property, without due process. And I showed you how to file a tort claim when they trespass against rights. I did a video on that, so I'm not going to go over that again. And now this video, and then I'm showing you where they have to, if they take private property, they have to use it. They have to give you compensation for it. But you got to understand how this works. Most of y'all don't understand. Most of y'all don't understand how to put this stuff together. Most of y'all are just following some other people. So I'm showing you how I get down and how I got this information. Most people ain't doing it like this. Most people, they ain't seeing it like this. And I'm doing it in a particular manner where we can get the benefit. Let's keep it pushing. So let's go here. Let me show you something in the state constitution that a lot of y'all, it says private property shall ever be held inviolate. This word means shall never be violated, but subservient to the public welfare. But y'all probably think y'all know what this word means. Subservient. So let's go look up this word. I already got it. It says prepare to obey others unquestioningly. That's not it. And then it's also less important, subordinate. Serving as a means to an end. And look at this word auxiliary. Now I want to show you this. I want to go to the Black's laws to even show you even further what this word means. And if you watch my video, you know what this is. An auxiliary is a auxiliary corporation. Is an extension of the original. You have the parent company, and then you have the auxiliary, which is a franchisee or agent of that particular parent company. So let's keep on going with this information. Let me show you what subservient meant. Let me break this down. Let me show you. Subservient is agent. It's an agent. It's an agent. So let's look at agent. Let me break this down. Something that produces an effect, cause, electronic agent. One, this is second sense. One who is authorized to act for or in place of another. Representative, also termed commissionary and principal and employee. Let's move on. Generally speaking, anyone can be an agent who is in fact capable of performing the functions involved. The agent normally binds not himself but his principal by the contracts he makes. Read that again. He don't bind not himself but his principal by the contract he makes. It is therefore not essential that he is legally capable to contract. Although his duty and liabilities to his principal might be affected by his status, thus an infant or a lunatic may be an agent. Though doubtless the court would disregard either attempt to act as if they were so young or so hopeless, devoid of reason, as to be completely incapable of grasping the functions he was attempting to perform. So I'm just breaking this down for y'all so y'all can read this again. Let me read this for you again. Generally speaking, anyone who can be an agent who is in fact capable of performing the functions involved. The agent normally binds not himself but his principal by the contract he makes. It is therefore not essential that he be legally capable to contract, although his duties and liabilities to his principal might be affected by his status. Thus, an infant or lunatic may be an agent, though doubtless the court will disregard either attempt to act as if he were so young or so hopeless, devoid of reason as to be completely incapable of grasping the functions he was attempting to perform. So I'm just showing you the strong man is agent. Who is the principal? So you got to understand how this works and how this goes on when you're dealing with this property. And when you don't safeguard your rights, you get in trouble. That's why you got to understand estate planning. The purpose is that's what we teach. Estate planning. We talk about contractual safeguards. We talk about privatization, asset protection, and tax avoidance. When you understand this information and you understand how to go about setting up everything in accordance to what we're doing, you're going to get the results that you're looking for. Let's keep this pushing real quick. So now that we understand the strong man is an agent, and it doesn't matter if he don't know how to contract, he put his principal at risk. Went over this. Auxiliary. Provide necessary to support to the primary activities and operations of an organization, an institution, an industry, or a system. A person who works provides necessary support to the primary activities of an organization, institution, or industry. So when you understand what you're doing, we show you how to incorporate. We show you how to set it all up. We show you what the contracts that you need. Contract make the law. You got to understand this information. So when you understand and perfect everything, like I said, you do what the bankers did. And if once you do that and you know what you're doing, you contact the IRS and you get this, a letter of credit. A letter of credit, I say a letter issued by a bank to another bank, typically in a different country, to serve as a guarantee for payments made to a specific person under a specific condition. Once you understand what you're doing, we're not doing all that. We're not doing all them bonds. We're not doing all them contracts. We're not doing all of that, because once you understand what you're doing, they already did it for you. You just got to know how to contact the people and get it done. And if you know what you're doing and you know how to contract, you would get the remedy that you're looking for all the time, and it would be considered for you to understand what you've done. But it's certain things that has to go in place that you need to do to get it done, and so that you can go ahead and exercise the remedy that you're looking for. So once you set this up right, you get this done. Like I showed you, I put it all together for you. If you've been following King L Bay, I dropped this science. This science is super fire. I dropped something that most people are not dropping, and I'm showing you how to do it. So listen up, people. We're fading the black. We're going to be going off and fading into the black soon. We're not going to be open and doing any more, probably a lot of videos. So y'all need to try to catch up. For those who searching to be great, I'm searching for my greatness now. This is time. This is for me to put on my greatness. Like I said, we're not no government conspirators. We're not speaking, never going to speak against the government. We understand that what's need to be done, and we're going to make it happen. For those who want to be a part of this union and what we're trying to do something great, and we're trying to make it happen for those who want to be great. So you need to get your Ghost in the System packet. Come together with me. Let's build. Let's grow. Because we're going to be fading the black. And it's then from there, you're going to have to go through it's going to go through a different form of change in order to be a part of the organization. There's going to be some things that has to be initiated. So for those who want more, who want to grow, this is King L Bay. Like I said, go to my Facebook. Hit me up. Go to my Facebook. Go to here. Hit me up on my messenger. Okay. Check it. Here's my telephone number. Give us a call. All right. We got the Ghost in the System packet. They're very affordable. We're not selling no $1,000, $1,500 packets. They're very affordable. Like I said, I've been putting this out there. Y'all gonna keep waiting, and then I ain't gonna be able to get in touch with me. We're gonna have some certain few members, and then everybody else gonna have to go through certain types of things. Catch up with us, because we finna move to it on another level in a minute and start trying to get this done. Okay, let me show you what else we got. We got the court. We got the family court. So check us out. This is what we do. You know, we dropping this science for y'all. We got the court. So King L Bay dropping this stuff on y'all. We got this. Let y'all know what's going on. Another thing, here's the YouTube channel. We lost the music. Got the YouTube channel. Y'all need to not just watch I got the Ghost in the System series, but I got all types of videos I've been dropping. You need to watch a lot of this to get it, and check us out. I'm dropping this science on y'all, so y'all need to come and get the rest of this information and get this science. Also, one more thing I want to talk about. Let's go to Amazon. Let's knock this out. Let's go here. Let's see if it'll come up. Check this out. King L Bay got the book. I dropped some knowledge in this book. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a re-edition of this book soon this year. I put it out there, but I got some stuff. Like I said, buy the book, $20. You know, we're having child support issues. Like I said, I'm guaranteeing my services. We dropping science on this information. We're going to show you what to do and how to protect and safeguard everything you're doing within the general context of everything. So this is King Bay. I'm out. We're going to take it from there, and we're going to keep it pushing, and I'm going to show you what's next. You know, we taking this up to the next level. So for those who watch this video, it's super fire, and it's hot. We're going to keep it moving. Thank y'all. Show peace and love.